Hey guys, Funny Guy Timmy here. People were asking me to do a update on my recording studio, my sound booth, and one of the questions, I believe one of the people that was asking a lot of the questions was Shunders with a Z, Shunders, I believe it was. Thank you for asking all these questions. One of them, and I think I've actually posted where my PC is before, but this is kind of, I guess, is part of the update. My computer is right here. It is just outside. Pull focus a little bit. It is outside where my booth is, which is in here. So I have the computer right there, and I actually made this. I actually made this this housing that it's in. It's kind of like a rolling coffee stand kind of thing, side table. But then I took layers of this packing material. I need to turn up the brightness on this. It's a little better. This is like a felt. It's like a thick felt. It was like a moving blanket that I cut into measured sheets, and then there was another kind of, I guess, moving or packing material that's kind of a plastic or a foam that I put over it, and I put some space beneath the bottom of these little curtains and the computer, because the fans are up here, but I still wanted air circulation. So the front is uncovered, so there's still air that can get to it. But these are supposed to like kind of dampen some of the sound, and I put another layer of foam right here. There's a backup laptop, storage devices. Oh, I got to close this curtain real quick. All right, and then back here, man, this is really dark. Wish I had some lights. Back here, it opens up. It's got like three thinner flaps, and then it's all plugged in there. HDMI, power, USBs, and all that kind of stuff. And then this is a really thick, heavy, soundproof curtain that's intended for like windows to block noise. But I put that over the entrance, and so that will further block this and any noise, bounce back any echo in this room, or any echo that bounces off here or anything like that. It'll try to help eliminate it. And then in here is the actual booth. You can hear the difference. So I have all the cords that go to the computer down there. I have like really long, I tried to find the longest USB, HDMI, and power cables that I could find, so I could get my microphone as far away from the actual computer itself. So all I do is I close this, block that off, make sure it's nice and sealed, and it just makes a seal as so. So there is my, there's where all the power is coming from. Everything that's plugged, everything that's in here is getting power from that. Let's go ahead and turn this off because it's just going to kind of glare just a little bit. All right. So I got my keyboard, which is wireless, and the antennas for them are all connected to this USB box, which is attached to everything. Again, everything that's in here. And then wireless mouse. I have an extra mic stand that I normally use for like webcams and stuff like that. It just gives me flexibility just in case I need to use another mic. I can use two mics, like I can have the shotgun mic. And this is my Sennheiser MKH416. More on that in just a second. And this is my Blue Spark. But yeah, this gives me the ability to be looking right at my copy and have the microphone right in front of me. It's a neat little shock mount. Put that up here. And I actually had all my clothes in here before. If you remember any of my old videos, I used to have all my clothes across this bar, all my shirts. But then I removed the bar and I removed all the clothes. And so now I have this neat little hook that actually put my headphones on. I used to actually have a little hook on my mic stand, but I took that off just because it was getting too close to this. So there was no real room to actually hang it. So I just put my headphones up here. Wall to wall, ceiling to ceiling, acoustic treatment. Calculator, I'm always needing that. This is something that I use. Let's see if I can focus on that a little bit. This has like aloe and honey and all kinds of neat little ingredients in it. It's a spray that prevents you from ruining your voice or prevents your voice from getting too hoarse. Just kind of like softens it up, and prevents you from like if you're doing a lot of yelling or screaming or singing, then it'll kind of prevent you from really ruining your throat, which is very important for a voice actor. I have an extra webcam. I normally have one up here, but I have an extra one just in case I want to attach it somewhere else. And then down here, let's see if I can get a better shot of this. Everything's so dark. Everything's a different lighting. Okay, these are just pieces. This is my setup as it is right now. So I have a phantom power supply. I have, and I've shown this off before, I have a, the Simply Sound company has these little microphone amplifiers. What it does is it takes the 48 volts phantom power and then basically adds extra juice to the mic without, like, it makes it where the mic is louder, so that way you can turn your gain down lower and you get less self noise from the mic and less self noise from the interface. It's a way of getting cleaner audio when you're working. A lot of people use these when they're working with like the SM7B, I believe it is. The it's a dynamic microphone. These are normally intended for dynamics, but I figured out a way of hooking it between these three devices to power condensers and shotguns and make them 20 dB louder, so I can turn it down and I get cleaner tracks. You can't see that. So yeah, anyway, this is the microphone that I've been using a lot. I really, really like it. It is, of course, the Sennheiser MKH416, $1,000, which came with this for free, which is the Zoom H6. Now, normally, I use this, which is my PreSonus audio box, and it's a really, really cool and neat $100 interface, which I still like. It still gets me clean sound. However, this does not play well with others, and by that I mean using it with like Audacity, which is my main DAW, my main digital audio interface. It doesn't work well with it. There's a weird thing that it does with the audio, that it'll compress it, and it just makes it very hard to work with. I might show what it does later, but yeah, I've switched from using that. And so what I had to do before is I was actually having to use PreSonus Studio One, because that's something that this thing works with flawlessly, but I don't like the tools in PreSonus Studio One, so I have to record it in PreSonus and then export it as a WAV file, bring it into Audacity and do all the cleanup there, because I like the Audacity compression and EQing tools better than I like Studio One. So, but with the Zoom H6, it allows me to just hook straight into Audacity and just work directly into that. There's no exporting, there's nothing like that. It just goes straight into Audacity. Which is cool because this has 4 channels, and if you get the adapter on the top, you can have 6 channels, only dynamic. However, you could use them if you had a setup like this, where you just had an external phantom power. But anyway, there's one thing that I don't really like about the Zoom H6, and that is the fact that its headphones, the audio that comes with the headphones, aren't as clear as with the PreSonus audio box. It's a little too tinny. It's a little sharp sounding. It's not as full, and it's not as crisp and clean of audio. But when I listen back to it, like when I'm listening to my live feedback, like when I'm listening to myself on the microphone as I'm recording, it sounds really sharp and really brittle sound. But when I listen back to it on the computer, it sounds better. It sounds way better. So it's just something about this port right here. Something about that. I don't know if it just needs more power, it just needs an amplifier or what. But that's what it does. So yeah, the mic goes into this thing, which then goes into this thing. No, sorry. The mic goes into this, which goes into this, which then this goes into this, and then that goes into that. So I'm hoping one of these days I'll be able to actually get a mixer or an interface that will actually give me the ability to just forego all of that and just have one device. But as of right now, it's actually pretty good. Also, another thing that I've been using a little bit is the limiters and compressors on this, which are nice as long as you don't use like any of the heavier compressors or heavier limiters. Then it just makes your audio kind of, for voiceover, it just takes away a lot of the clarity of your voice. But if you use like light limiters, light compressors, it'll prevent your audio from just going everywhere. So let's see. This was the wall where I was going to mount a second screen, but it came off, so I just ignored it, just went around it. These are LED lights. When I do my videos in here, I just plug these in. I have a little USB power supply that I just plug that into, and then, yeah, and it just illuminates. I still have a good bit of my clothes in here. I got rid of a lot of clothes. There was a lot of clothes I didn't need, but I still keep my clothes in here, mostly because there's a vent back here. There's a vent that just goes straight into the other room, and in that room is just loud and echoey, and then adjacent, just straight across from where that vent is a big window where there's just like tons of traffic. So I keep this here to try to like minimize it as much as I can. You know, it just helps. And then more clothes down there. There's like wires down there. I put this across here, not only to give it a platform to be on, but just also try to absorb some of that sound. And let's see, okay, let's see if I can make sure I can answer all these questions. I think I answered a couple of them. Okay. Yes, I'm recording in a closet. That's what this used to be. It does get hot in here. I've already answered most of these, but yes, it does get hot in here. And what I do is I turn on the AC like high, like really, really high, till it gets like cold in the entire apartment. Because this is the vent right there. And just on the other side of this wall is the AC unit. So I clearly cannot have it running. So what I do is I just, for like about 20 minutes, I just crank the AC up until the entire place gets really cold. And then I just turn the AC off, like completely off. And then I can probably record in here for about, you know, about an hour and a half, 2 hours before, you know, I probably need to turn it back on. Which normally I'll turn it back on, in between recording and editing. Like after I've recorded it and I'm starting my editing, I'll turn the AC back on. Just to make sure it stays cool in here. So yeah, so it does get hot here. AC unit. Yeah, shunders, I think. What's the monitor connected to? The wall. This monitor is connected to the wall, which I think his question was actually, it's connected to a computer just outside the closet, but it's connected to the wall. It's just mounted on there. I found one stud in this wall. I've been searching everywhere to try to find like an actual stud to put a screen on, and I actually found one that was right. It was perfect spot. I was so happy. Okay. So you convert your video to MP3 and put it on Audacity. Oh, this was okay. This is a different question. Okay, when I record my video, if I do any cleanup on my videos, you know, I'll record it and then I'll bring the audio, because sometimes I'll actually record the audio on a separate file. Like I'll use the H6 or my Tascam and record the audio on that when I do videos, and then I'll bring it into Audacity and I'll clean it up. I won't do any cuts. I won't do any edits. I'll just clean it up, EQ it, compress it, and then I'll bring it into Sony Vegas where I'm doing my video editing, and then I'll sync them up, and then I'll link them to the video, and then I'll start editing both of them at the same time. That's what I do. I might do a video on that. Let's see what else. I think that's pretty much it. The number of microphones that I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's 8. No, 9. I think it's probably 9. 9 microphones but I really only use one for voiceover, and then I use 2 of them for video or travel, and then this is of course my favorite yet now kind of a backup. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. This has been kind of oh, and I also have like just a whole bunch of crap up here, just all kinds of like boxes and containers and all kinds of stuff just up there. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. So until next time, peace.